Welcome to the Game Rage Music Show.
Hey, yep. Right. You know what that sound means? That music means it's time again for a brand new episode of All Gas, No Trash. This is episode number 32. As always, I'm Josh, and I'm here today with my good buddy Adam. Adam, what's going on?
Howdy.
Oh, well, you know, today we're going to do something cool.
Yeah. I pulled a bait and switch from our last episode.
Indeed.
Said that we were going to review the debut album of the Sinceres, and I opted to go with something different.
No, let me ask you this. Did you just not want to do it at all, or were you just like, I just don't want to do it today?
I don't know.
So you're on the fence about even doing it at all?
At all. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. I just wanted to be, clear.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do it at all.
So that may have just been a lie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's okay. We changed our minds. We can do that. It's our show. We do whatever the fuck we want. All right?
Yeah, I don't have to apologize.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, before we get into what's going to be, I guess, probably the main event, right, for tonight,
Oh, yeah.
which is going to be, it's going to be
fun.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be our top.
It's not top five. It's
just five of our favorites, some of our favorite songs.
Yeah, and this might actually be kind of a reoccurring thing in the future.
Oh, I think
where we revisit some tracks from video games of the past, or just stuff that we enjoy. Because I already had a hard time picking five, and
when you told me this 15 minutes before we sat down to record it,
yeah.
I did also have a hard time picking five. I mean, I picked five, and I'm like, no, these are my five. I'm going to stick with them. But then when you said, I think we're going to have to do another one of these or multiple ones. And I said, you know what? That's a good idea because I have a lot more that I could probably go with too.
Yeah, I picked five just because I figure it's probably going to be about the length of an album review, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe shorter.
Because 10 songs total.
Because we're going to end up talking about each track and what it makes us feel.
Right, because we're gonna do like we always do. We're gonna listen to it. We're going to pause. We're going to listen to it. And then we're going to come back. And then
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is quite a bit to talk about before we even start.
Right. That's what I was saying before we get started. Yeah. What do you got?
So I've been listening to KCRW, and I don't know if I just didn't pay attention for a hot minute, but some of the people that were DJing have been gone for a minute, and I didn't know why until I looked up articles where it was revealed back in January that there was a staff cut. It was 10% of the total staff of KCRW, and it became apparent that 3% or 33%, they're in a $3 million budget deficit.
Goddamn. So that means they're $3 million in the
hole,
like in the negative.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So, and it's kind of sad.
So KCRW, what's the call sign or whatever, the radio, or not the call sign, but the numbers for it?
89.9.
89.9. And it's public radio, right?
It's public radio.
So then who actually owns it?
So it operates out of Santa Monica.
So is it like the city of Santa Monica that owns it, or is it like some?
I don't know how the fuck it works, honestly, because most of their money comes from pledges.
Oh, so are they like a nonprofit then?
I imagine.
All right. Well, I will just look it up the information on Wikipedia and see what it tells me.
So we don't have to guess about.
Okay, so it's national. Is a national public radio,
right?
Members. Oh, it's an NPR member station.
Okay.
Broadcasting from the campus of Santa Monica College. Okay, so the station is licensed through Santa Monica College.
So Santa Monica gives them
Santa Monica College is the owner.
The owner.
So the Santa Monica Community College District is I guess the college, therefore, because the district owns the college. So the college owns the radio station is the bottom line.
Yeah.
So there isn't really, I don't really think there's, okay, so I don't think that there's not like a guy who runs the company, but they're essentially a publicly funded radio station because the college is not, or the Santa Monica College. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's a public community college. So it is not, so it receives public money.
Yeah.
Therefore, likely this also receives public money. And then, like you said, donations or pledges
and
or
ads.
Yeah, ads, like, they operate a radio station.
And that's what I was reading was that a big portion of their budget was coming from ad revenue from movie studios or film studios.
Yeah.
And the other portion of it was the membership, the voluntary membership of people donating money, whatever they were pledging. But it makes sense.
It's fucking interesting as shit, man.
It makes sense, though, because not a lot of people have money to spare to begin with. So why would they be throwing money out at
this, I mean, that's true. And then obviously if they're at the mercy of, I mean, they're just essentially a department of the college then at that point. And so obviously if the college is, I mean, I'm sure the college is fucking doing okay, but if they're in a $3 million budget deficit, that's not going to look good come time for if the college has to make cuts.
Yeah. I mean, one of the people that was voluntarily exited, I think, is Anthony Valdez, who was part of the program called Morning Becomes Eclectic, along with this woman named Novena Carmel. And so it was run as a show with two co-hosts, right?
Yeah.
And this guy opted out. When I imagine he was given a package to exit out, because at least that's what I read, was there were severance packages, and if you wanted to leave voluntarily, or you're gonna be fired.
Yeah, sure, yeah, or you're gonna yeah. You can take this free money, or you can just be fired.
So, it is interesting to see that only lasted about maybe a year or two, or if that. And now it's all kind of gone to shit. And if I had to be honest, man, I mean, a lot of the people that I thought the people that would end up being cut would be the part-timers, the people that only do like one program a week, or because there is one person, his name's Travis Holcomb, who does a program consistently. So basically KCR's programming is that they have this thing called All Things Considered, which is, they talk about like broad topics and stuff, and they have left, right, and center, which is like their political stuff. And then they have this program. Well, that program got axed as well. It's called Greater LA with, I think the guy's name is like Steve Shitakis or something. So they had a whole block of programming that were usually conversational things. And then, so the music began somewhere around 9 to 12. And then from 1 to 4, they play that shit. And then they play it again. And then when 8 o'clock rolls around, that's when they have the back end of their music programming within KCRW's radio station. But I've also noticed that it seems from 12 and beyond, maybe even bleeding into 11, I feel KCRW is actually going further into automation of playlist and music.
I mean, that makes sense if they're in a $3 million budget deficit, because you don't have to pay it. You don't have to pay the robot to fucking, you got to pay the guy to sit there and make sure everything's like, operating and functioning. Yeah. And you're paying him. So you're like, hey, just push the button to hit play. And then that's it. Like,
because I mean, Spotify auto fades in and auto fades out, which would probably be a job that you'd have
a guy doing,
an engineer would do, and then they would have. You can automate the commercials or like the plugins for stuff.
Well, theoretically, everything's all pre-recorded anyways, like all the commercials and shit. So realistically, you could just pay one guy to. You have like all the shows that need to be curated. You tell him, here's the list of songs. He just uploads it into a workstation like Adobe Audition or whatever, and then he inserts the commercials as they are supposed to happen at the times and then the station identifier and everything like that. And he could just do that for an hour or whatever the 2-hour block is, put it out as a fucking MP3 or a wave, and then they just hit play and then everything's all automated.
Yeah. I wonder, I mean, I don't know how deeply we can go into asking the people at the top if they took a pay cut, because they probably didn't.
I would say so. I was just kind of looking at some of this lady, Jennifer Farrow, she's the actual general manager of the station right now.
Okay.
And so, or the current general manager. And so she's also the president of the KCRW Foundation, which is the thing that provides the financial support, I guess, for the radio station.
Yeah.
So that it can, operate. And so I was just trying to look at her, like, see if I could find her online and like get her info, not her info, but like her resume.
Yeah.
Let's see. She's the president. Oh, is she on LinkedIn? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, might as well see what
she's got on here. Yeah. So chairperson for NPR. So she's the NPR chairperson, also for NPR, like the National Public Radio
in general.
She's also the
chairperson. So she's way up there. She just
got that 5 months ago, though. She is like a big man. She would be a cool person to fucking talk to.
She's not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, she's staying there. But she's been the president of fucking KCRW for 14 years, since 2010. So
but that doesn't look good on her part if the financials don't look good. It's $3 million.
Right, but here's the thing too. Okay, so because this is run by a college, right?
Yes.
The college doesn't look, when they do their finances, they don't look at shit like a normal business does. Like they have a weird way of looking at things, because you have essentially departments that are going to lose money, right? So like let's just take like a big, I don't know, like a big fucking college. Let's USC, okay? When they're looking at like let's say their history department, and let's just say, now this, I don't know for sure, obviously, or anything. I'm just making this up and using it as an example. But let's just say that they're well known for their history program and it's prestigious, but it loses fucking money every year. They're going to be like, we don't care. This is part of the prestige of our college. So we're going to throw whatever money it takes to keep this allure and prestige of this program going, even though it's not profitable, because we're making so much money on everything else. This can lose money. We're okay with that. This is our prestige. So owning a radio station, now I don't know how long that prestige is going to carry for, but I feel like they're probably looking at it the same way. Oh, we own a radio station, right? And so we have access to, I'm sure, Santa Monica College. I always see those fucking ads on the buses and shit when I'm in LA.
Right.
And it's always Santa Monica College, home of the arts, home of entertainment industry. And so I'm pretty sure if we went on their website and looked, I'm sure one of their big things that they do is training for the entertainment industry. So music, radio, television, film, I'm sure those are some of their big prestigious programs. And I'm sure that they have a lot of students running this fucking KCRW or working at KCRW.
Oh, yeah. A lot of interns.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like as interns, as unpaid interns, and part of their classwork. And it's great for the college because this is going to sound really shitty, but A, they get free labor out of it, but B, the kids are getting real experience working at a radio. So there is a trade-off. Yeah, you're not paying these kids to work there, but they are getting 4 years of experience actually working at a radio station while they're going to school, which to me, that's always been my biggest problem with kids, like people that want to just go to college for 4 years and that's it. Well, you're not getting any work experience, so it's hard for you to get a job when you get out. These kids have 4 years of fucking experience and a degree, and they worked at an actual real life radio station. So yeah, that's fucking great.
That's true. But there's only so many jobs as well. Cause
now radio is, that's why I'm saying, I don't know how long this allure of prestige is going to last. I'm sure this probably isn't the first year that it's been in a deficit. I'm sure it's probably not been making money for either ever or for a while.
A long time. Yeah.
So, but because that's part of the allure and the prestige for the college, they go, yeah, it's cool. We'll blow $5 million a year to have our own radio station because A, we're attracting people to come here to take classes. So if the radio station is losing money, but if their fucking film or if their radio program what is it, like their radio training or their, I don't know, what would that be called? Like, what would that degree be called in? Like radio science or
communications? Mass communications.
Okay, sure, yeah. So maybe their mass communications department is making $10 million a year in fucking tuition and fucking whatever donations or what have you. So they can be like, cool, we can just fucking funnel some money in to keep this thing going. So
okay, but I counter this. KEXP from Seattle,
okay,
is a radio station that I don't know if they're
KEXP.
KEXP. I think their prime directive is to showcase music, just whatever's out there, right?
Okay,
they're known worldwide. I don't know if they're actually part of the National Public Radio. Are they part of National Public Radio?
I don't think so. It's not saying that anywhere on here.
Are they public radio?
They are non-commercial radios.
Non-commercial radio. Okay. Well, anyways, these guys are going to end up buying a radio station in San Francisco that went under, and now
Damn, really.
So now they're expanding to San Francisco, and I think they're going to be called KEXP as well. So now they're broadcasting out of San Francisco as well, but they've been doing things out of country in South America, and I forget where else, but I see that radio station almost in the same vein as KCRW, and maybe it's apples and oranges, but they seem to be doing all right if they're absorbing other radio stations and trying to do events or things in other countries that they got their finances down.
Yeah. Okay, well, look at this. Okay, so in 2018, someone donated or set up an investment fund because they got a $10 million donation, this KEXP in 2018.
Oh, shit.
And then
Massive.
someone set up an investment fund. So it's saying that this deal that they bought this thing for they bought KREV, which it's 92.7 in San Francisco. It's licensed out of Alameda, but it serves the San Francisco Bay Area. They bought it for $3.75 million out of bankruptcy.
So the $10 million could have been potentially spent on the radio station itself.
Yeah, so that $10 million from 2018 that they set up as an investment fund, it's probably already made some money. So it may very well have, be at $15 million. And then they're like, cool, let's spend 3.75 and buy a radio station in San Francisco and expand our operations. So even though their reliance on it seems like, yeah, they're fully reliant upon people donating and giving them money, right? So as long as they're continuing to get the money, then they can operate,
Yeah, it's just it makes you consider, all right, well, if KCRW is really pushing for automated playlists, then they're not really doing themselves a favor because if they're cutting 10% of their staff, and that included I think engineers and DJs, those people's curation skills are theoretically valuable because it's the human element.
Yeah.
And that's what KEXP does to a T, is that they have these curators that are presenting great music all the time, and now they're expanding. So I feel
you said they got rid of a lot of their talk guys, right?
Talk guys,
like their talk, like they're just doing like on KCRW was like their political program.
One of them was this. That one was kind of I'm trying to think of the word. I would say regional to Los Angeles. That it could talk about stories in Southern California and then maybe bleed into politics sometime. But that wasn't quite the focal point. Yeah. But
was that the shows that they cut? Were they like everyday shows?
Yeah. Every
okay. So
left, right, and center is every day.
Yeah.
Greater LA, I think, is every day.
And so here's the other thing too. If you look at it this way, okay. So those guys that were like talk shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're paying those guys more than they're paying a dude who's sitting there just pushing buttons on music and just talking about it for a few minutes. Like those guys that are doing actual talk shows,
it's original programming,
right? They're getting paid more money. So if those guys were and they're doing it daily. So where if you've got a guy that's coming in once a week to do a show and he's just playing music for a couple hours, you're not going to get rid of him because he's cheap. And then you could say, hey man, we'll give you a little, because you're probably paying him hourly. But hey man, we'll give you like a couple more hours. We'll give you like 5 or 10 more hours a week, and you come and do this show every day. Oh, cool, sweet. That guy's stoked about it. He gets more hours and you're saving money and you're filling in that fucking programming slot for cheaper. So it makes sense that those are the ones that they got rid of were probably their highest cost. And that's the one thing that sucks too, is that's why radio sucks as a
Career?
Not as a career, but as a business, because you're fully reliant upon people listening to you. And with all of the original like this, like podcasting, right? A lot of podcasts are far more interesting because they can go places that you can't go on normal radio.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about like explicit stuff or whatever, but I'm just talking about in general. You're not really hampered by anyone because you have to,
Or time itself.
right? Time. There's no time limits, and you don't have to worry about saying something that is going to piss off one of your advertisers. Because the other thing, you can't talk about anything controversial, because if you do, you might risk pissing off an advertiser who pays money to advertise on your show, and then you're going to fucking be asked out. So those guys probably weren't they were obviously their biggest, even if they were bringing in the most money, if they were still one of their biggest draws of expense, it's easier just to get rid of them, because those time slots will be filled with something else. And likely you will likely keep those advertisers anyways. Maybe slip them a little discount because you're spending, you're saving money. So you could afford to give them a discount and to keep them around. But from a business standpoint, that's probably why they did that, because maybe they are trying to turn the ship around and say, okay, maybe the college doesn't want to keep bleeding $3 million fucking every year or whatever they're spending on this thing. So, hey, let's try to right the ship and turn it back around and turn it maybe profitable, or at least we're not losing maybe if we're losing a couple $100,000 a year, or $250,000, that's fucking probably acceptable to the college to be able to maintain this prestige of having this program, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and honestly, it is cool to say that you own a fucking radio station. Like, there's one here in Corona. There's one over there. It's like some church owns it. It's like 90 fucking 6.4 or some shit. And it's like a religious station. That would be cool as shit to just own a radio station. But you would do it under the guise of knowing you're not going to make any money, or it's going to be very hard to make money because, again, you're limited. Your expenses are probably going to be high because if you want to play commercial music, you got to have that fucking license or whatever. You got to pay for that fucking whatever the licenses are, and then that's going to be your biggest expense probably. And then, okay, cool, you're playing music, but then, yeah, you get you got to get advertisers. You got to get, because that's how you're going to make your money.
And also I think for KEXP to be just the brand recognition alone, is that I don't know how long they've been active as a radio station, but there comes a certain point where people just know you, and then everybody looks to you, right, for music.
Yeah.
And I think that becomes problematic to KCRW if they don't have those people that are getting fed music or discovering things. Because that's why KEXP is still relevant, is because
they got
artists want to go to them, or bands want to go to them. It's I don't know what you want to call it, like a rite of passage to go through a radio station. If you get recognized by KEXP, maybe it's a milestone for success in the future. And maybe KCRW is backtracking by just automating shit. Because I think part of the element of having a radio station beyond just the music is that the reason that you have a curator or somebody that DJs is the storytelling aspect.
Yeah.
And when you don't get that, then it just becomes Spotify.
Yeah. Then you're just listening to Spotify you're listening to low quality Spotify, because that's the other thing. FM radio, even if you're listening to HD FM radio, the quality's still not as good as fucking if you're listening to it, streaming it from your iPhone or your fucking Galaxy phone or whatever, your Samsung. So that's one thing that really is another hindrance or an obstacle. And that's what sucks, is you have to have such good fucking programming in order to overcome all that. And if you're just like kind of, you're barely making it worth it for people to come listen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where people that do shows that are engaging and they get people not interested in, but they expose people to new, unheard music that's good. Those people, and then they can tell a story about it. Those people are valuable. Those are the people that they're probably trying to hold on to, because, yeah, you're going to automate everything else, but these people are going to be your draw and then you're just gonna fucking cycle the same music over all day.
I don't want to gossip or
Yeah.
I have an opinion on why somebody I know probably didn't get cut.
Okay, what's the opinion?
All right, my theory, because I love Jose from KCRW, dude. Like I've known him for 4 or 5 years now, and he's one of those like part-time people that does a weekly program, but it's only one day. But my theory of why he's still there is because maybe I think Jose has reached a point of leverage that KCRW can't get rid of him at this point.
Yeah.
Because now that he's running the Paramount as the talent buyer, they have one extra space that they can turn to
For fundraisers
to do events or anything like that. And it'd be nice to have somebody like that in your pocket to.
Oh yeah.
So other DJs might not have that luxury of having that position of leverage. So that's why I think he's still around. Well, I enjoy I listen to his programs on Mondays. And if you happen to live in Southern California, he has his programming usually from 10 to 12. It used to be 10 to 1, but I guess they cut an hour because, well, shit, they're hurting for money.
Yeah.
that's one extra hour they have to pay for him. But
does he do it 5 days a week?
No, he only does it once, Mondays.
Oh, just 1 day a week?
Yeah.
Oh, that's one extra hour.
And they shuffle it, dude. They shuffled him around a lot.
Yeah.
Because he used to be on Sundays at one point, and I think he was on Saturdays. So they've been like throwing him all over the place.
Yeah. They're probably throwing him where they know people are going to, because they're like, shit, we don't have anybody listening at these times. People listen to him, so let's fucking throw him in this spot and see if we can get people to fill in this time.
Utility player.
Yeah, basically.
So that's my theory, because I think he has a position of leverage to say, you guys get rid of me, you don't have access to do something at where I'm at.
That's true.
So I don't know if I have anything else to add, but it's just interesting to hear the state of radio itself. And I know there's a lot of radio stations I think are hurting in general. They have like a hiring freeze.
Yeah.
I think Cal State Northridge, I forgot what their radio station. I think it's like 88.3 or 88. Fuck, I forget.
Whatever the numbers
SoCal
are.
Sound.
Yeah.
SoCal Sound. Okay. That's their name. I know they have a hiring freeze, and I think that's just what's happening across the board. News, fucking just media in general. Los Angeles Times, I think, cut 200 jobs from their staff.
Fuck, man.
And radio apparently. And yeah, it's just crazy. It's just not good times for anybody.
True. Well, I mean, I can definitely tell you that this radio station is not having hard times.
No,
because it doesn't really cost us anything to fucking do this.
Hey, dude.
So,
oh man, this is the best shit ever.
This is the greatest advantage.
Because our cost of operations is not all that expensive to begin with.
True.
We get to talk about whatever the fuck we want for as long as we want.
Yep. No one gets to tell us what to do.
Nobody tells us what we can do. Play all the music we want. Oh man, yep. we're very advantageous. So things are great over here at Game Rage magazine.
Yeah, things are looking up. So hey, if you were on a radio station and you got laid off and you want to come do some podcasts, hit us up. We'll fucking
yeah. So I guess we could transition away from that fucking topic and then talk about 2 deaths that happened this week, which kind of sucked. Man, I was kind of curious if maybe we should play a song from Cola Boyy, but Cola Boyy, Matthew Urango from Oxnard, one of the pride and joy artists of Oxnard, passed away at the age of 34 years old, dude. Fucking crazy. But then again,
did they say what happened?
I don't know. Last I saw, the cause of death was unknown. But the guy himself he had quite a bit of things that he was dealing with: spina bifida, scoliosis, kyphosis. So a lot of like his fucking spine looked like a devil's roller coaster. In so many words. But in spite of that, in spite of whatever physical limitations he had, he made really awesome music. And so I never actually met the dude personally, but I do kind of have a funny story that I may have mentioned here or not. But so I think in the summer of 2021, I drove out to Oxnard to go meet up with some of the guys from Los Retros.
Yeah.
And okay, one of the things that I find really interesting about Oxnard was I think a lot of the people that live in the city itself are connected to one another.
Okay.
So much so that they just go to each other's houses to talk about music or other stuff. And one of the things that like happened was, so when I drove over there, we were hanging out at this guy named Maudy's house, who's the lead of the band Los Retros.
Okay.
We were at his house, and I don't remember exactly what we were doing, but this other artist, his name's Omega Nova. He's a rapper from Oxnard. He hit up Maudy. He's like, "Yo, man, I got new music. I want you to check it out." And he also had like vinyl records of his album. And so they were all just like meeting up and hanging out. And at some point, we went to go get donuts.
Yeah.
So then we drove over to the donut place. He's like, "Hey, do you want to go see where fucking Cola Boyy lives?" So then we drove to his neighborhood, which was probably no more than a city block over. And I mean, we didn't talk to him or anything. We just passed by and like we waved at him. So I was
Was he just standing outside?
Yeah, I think he was just standing outside.
What time of the day was this?
It was like the middle. I mean, I think it was probably closer to like the sun setting or the afternoon,
like the evening time.
Yeah, evening time.
He's just standing outside.
Yeah, and
Was he watering his lawn?
I don't know, probably, but it was just cool to see that part of Oxnard where people are just going to each other's houses to just make music and shit. Because I think that's kind of the luxury of living in a suburban area as opposed to LA, where you kind of have to pick and choose when you're going to go to somebody's house because of the traffic or shit like that. So that was kind of interesting to see within Oxnard itself, was that it seems like there's a tight knit community, and Cola Boyy was one of the highlights of the music scene out there. And as I came to find out, I mean, I've heard it before, but he used to be part of a band called the Sea Lions before he was Cola Boyy.
The Sea Lions.
And he was like an activist. Like he's very left leaning of the communist variety.
Hey, he's a commie.
Yeah. Was not apologetic. He was unapologetic about that, and all for workers' rights and all that stuff. And and of course, him being disabled, being a disabled artist, he was also for disabled persons' rights and stuff. And it's just kind of unfortunate to lose an artist so young. And you know, it seems like an improbable story for someone like in a city that's not Los Angeles to succeed, because he ended up working with really great artists like MGMT. MGMT, and then he worked with the Avalanches, and he got featured on a song with one of the guys from the Clash, who's like, you know, they're a really big band in punk, and or they were a really big band in punk. The guy Mick Jones, so he was featured on a song. So it's just like the most improbable story that you can imagine for somebody to make it and do those things. It's fucking crazy. So, you know, shout outs to him for making all that great music, and I'm hopefully we're doing justice and honoring his memory. And then of course, one additional person that died was my brother was a big fan of this band, and this guy was actually on this movie called Swingers with Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn. He just he only has like 5 lines, but I don't know, man. He's probably like one of the better characters in the movie. But Greg Lee from Hepcat, this local Southern California ska band. I mean, they play all over the place here in Southern California. And of course, they played like nationally and stuff. But my brother was a big fan of them. And I remember like in junior high, I had this shirt of Hepcat, which was like, I don't know what they call this, like the crest or.
Yeah, just like on the breast or whatever?
Yeah. So I had one of those shirts and it had like a big fucking cat. It's like the logo for
Thundercats.
Huh?
Like the Thundercat logo?
Somewhat, yeah. It was a cat with a cigarette in its mouth, and
that's dope.
I tried to burp, but I can't.
Can't get it out.
Couldn't get it out. So yeah, this dude passed away, and I just, it makes me think about certain parts of my life when I was in junior high. I used to always like wear that shirt. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't wear it every day, but you know, whenever I changed my clothes, I usually wore it probably once a week. And then, what was I going to mention? I've probably seen him like once or twice in my lifetime. And, of course, mentioning he was part of that movie Swingers, and his fucking line in a couple scenes is, they tell him like, oh, do you guys want to go down to Dresden so we can go see the beautiful babies down there and the music or whatever? He's like, so they're already at a bar and they're going to go to another bar because this one sucks. And then they're just going to, so they end up like bar hopping because all the places suck. But this guy's line is like, yeah, man, this place is dead anyway. Like, so I don't know, man. It's just like, it's one of my favorite lines in that movie. And,
dude, did you go with us when, we went down to somewhere in Orange County, and we went bar hopping because like we were gonna go to one bar, and then it sucked ass, and then we went to like 3 or 4 and just fucking drunk as shit, and then we found some pizza place that was about to close, and then we sat outside and ate these, like, I don't even remember what the fuck that place was called, but I just remember that was the best pizza I've ever fucking had, and that was our like swingers moment. All right.
Yeah, I forgot what age this dude passed away. It's probably like 53 years old. And
that's still pretty young, man. Like, it
is pretty young. And the guy, I mean, dude, for being 53, if you see a picture of him, he looks pretty. Yeah, he probably looked like he's in his late 30s.
That's pretty good.
But
I'm in my late 30s and I'm mid 30s, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, so that was another unfortunate passing of what I would call a Southern California legend. I mean, to other people, they're like, who the fuck is Greg Lee? But I don't know, man. It's just local Southern California music. I mean, if you knew the name, you did. I get you.
No, call him what would you call me when I was like, I don't know who either of these guys are.
What?
You were like, oh, well, that's because you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I literally told him, I said, that sucks. I have no idea who these guys. I've never heard of them before. And you're like, yeah, that's because you're a fucking idiot. It's just like, yeah, you're right. I mean, I am, but thanks.
Yeah, I mentioned it more as a joke because it's like,
I know.
It's like when you say, oh, I don't know who any of those people are. Like, why would you?
Yeah. Why would you? You're an idiot. Like that's
No, it's mainly because of the fact it's like, are you invested in music as much as I am?
Well, I mean, to a certain extent, but not like I'm not doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think I enjoy music just as much as you do, but I'm not looking for new bands in Australia, or I'm not trying to see what the new ska scene is looking like in Tennessee or whatever the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing any of that. But that's how invested you are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shit, dude. It's nice to remember people because I mean, shit. We could talk about fucking Taylor Swift all fucking day.
Yeah, sure. Fuck
and The Weeknd and all that stuff. But they're already at the top, dude. What about all the stories around us?
Well, that's what's interesting. That's why I mean, listen, I'll tell you why I'm invested in this in all gas, no trash, because you opened my horizons to things that I've never seen before. And again, we're talking about, oh man, we should go to the show or see some of this shit. Like, yeah, I've never been to things like that. So like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. And let me find out about new bands that are in Southern California that are local to us that we can go see before they blow up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because not every band starts, well, not that they would ever start that way unless unless they're manufactured.
Could be.
Certain people.
Fucking, if you're a boy band, maybe, fucking.
But it's one of those, it's like the American dream, dude. It's people that gambled on themselves to make something original and somehow they managed to make a career out of it. I mean, regardless of what the scale of their success was, I mean, Hepcat never achieved the acclaim of No Doubt, which would probably be
their equivalent.
the pinnacle of maybe the ska, dub, reggae genre or whatever.
Yeah.
They never hit that acclaim, but did they probably make a decent living to be able to play shows and have that be their thing? Or, I mean, I imagine that's probably the case because they've been doing it so consistently. It's like they must be making some type of money. So, you know, it's just a local story to us, and it's serving shit around us at our level, or talking about people around us. Because what fucking chance do we have to talk about? What chance do we have to talk to Taylor Swift or Rick Rubin?
Oh yeah, zero.
So it's
probably
like,
a negative chance actually.
And this isn't to discredit the people around us. It's just like you don't get to hear about. I mean, dude, us talking about like Rachel Bowl, like who?
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm trying to find the words. That's like a local story to us that we could talk about.
Yeah, that's a local celebrity that's willing to talk to us. That's Lana Mac, Ed Erlag, all the people we've interviewed, local celebrities that are willing to talk to us.
Yeah,
and that their stories sure are probably not highlighted. I don't think any of them have done an interview on the level that we've done it with them. So they get to tell their story in a way that they've never gotten a chance to before. And, you know, we get to hear some cool shit.
Yeah.
And have good conversations.
Yeah. And
I'd rather do that than, like you said, talk to Taylor Swift or fucking Rick Rubin. I mean, I would like to talk to Rick Rubin and ask him about the whole fucking, you know,
Squarespace
thing. But,
I would love to talk to him about that too.
And then I'd love to sit down and be like, listen, just give us 10 minutes on coming up with a new name. All right. Let's just fucking sit down on the whiteboard and just give us some fucking inspiration. Just help us out. But, you know, whatever.
Yeah. So, in summary, I think it's nice to keep account of people around us that are in our immediate region to say that their life mattered, you know, that like everybody's life matters. So that's what we're basically saying here.
Right.
So.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, our sympathies go out to obviously the families of
Greg Lee and Matthew Arongo.
That was Cola Boy's real name, right?
Cola Boy's, that was his real name.
Yeah.
So go listen to his music, bump his shit.
Yeah.
Hopefully his estate will be able to collect
Get some
on that
money.
shit.
Yeah. Hopefully they did the paperwork correctly and it won't just be the record company making the money, because that would really piss me off.
Yeah.
But
run that shit up.
Yeah. And you know what? Do they have like a GoFundMe for him or anything? Like,
I don't know.
All right. Well, fucking just Google it and you can see.
Yeah, I'm sure you can go on like.
And you can help him out. Yeah, go on his website or his fucking Facebook. Or whatever his Instagram page.
Find out if there's a GoFundMe page.
Yeah, to help them out and donate to it. You know, don't fucking send us any money. Send them money because they need it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, anyways, but before we get into the main event, I just wanted to say real quick. I'm changing gears a little bit, but
about what?
I was listening to K-Rock by accident, and it just so happened. So I was in the car, and you know, like I do the Bluetooth or I plug my phone into the Apple CarPlay, so like I don't have to fucking listen to the horse shit on the radio.
Yes.
And I like did it, but like I didn't do it right, and so the radio kicked on instead for some reason while it was connected to Apple CarPlay, and so it's 106.7 because that's what Katie listens to when she fucking drives around because she's a normie, and so I was driving and I'm just like it would kill, and the DJ comes on. And I'm like, all right, now here we go. It's time for Royal Otis on K-Rock.
Oh God!
And dude, I was like, I can't believe this shit. Again, nothing against Royal Otis or whatever, but after the song was done, like I feel like this is fucking bought and paid for. When this DJ was done, when the song was done, because I just waited around because I wanted to hear what this DJ was going to say about this shit. Oh, that's Royal Otis, this new amazing band. Just fucking sucking them off, dude. And I'm like, God damn it. They're not like, no, like I'm not trying to be offensive, but they're not that good. All right.
They're good, but the songs were they're just mediocre.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They're not sucking it's not suck your dick off good. And this lady was just like, just going to town on them. Just fucking cradling the balls and everything, dude. I was just like, God damn.
You know what the worst part is that they are trying to cash in on their momentum, which is at this point, it's a global scale.
Yeah.
They're so far. K-Rock is just utter shit when it comes to being on the cutting edge of anything, dude.
Right. They're also I feel like they are behind the 8 ball on this quite a bit.
Oh man, it's so offensive, dude. I hate K-Rock like thoroughly.
Yeah, so do I.
So there have been a number of stations that played them way before. Triple J probably, which makes sense because they're from Australia, and then BBC was another one that they got them their first radio play as well. Probably the first 2 radio stations or whatever that were able to air them. But K-Rock is just so fucking late.
Dude, I know, man. And you know what was funny? It wasn't even a song off their new album either. It was some old fucking song that they did from like...
Which one is it?
I don't remember the name of it.
Was it the... I don't remember the lyrics for it.
I don't remember how it went, but I think it was... yeah, I don't fucking know. I don't remember.
Phone was the one that they're playing a lot on the goes doom doom doo 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 doo. That one makes sense though, because that one's actually good.
Right, yeah.
The rest of the album is kind of...
But yeah, it was some other song that I'd never heard before, and I was like, man, this song's fucking this. And honestly, it kind of sucked. I was like, I'm not into this. But
it works for the teens. It works for the...
it's indicative of the type of shit that K-Rock's playing now.
Yeah.
And again, if they would have been on top of this, they would have been playing this years ago.
Yeah.
But now they're just getting in the game.
Here's the jab. Here's another jab that will... Fuck K-Rock, dude. I just want to let them know.
Yeah, good. Fuck them. I hate K-Rock.
Fuck K-Rock, dude. Commercial radio that sucks balls.
The only thing that I enjoyed or used to enjoy from K-Rock was Kevin and Bean, man. Ralph Garman, fucking... They had the whole thing, man. It was so great. That show was hilarious.
Yeah. So... KXLU, which is like another college radio station, I think it's out of Loyola.
Oh, okay.
I think it's over kind of towards Glendale or driving towards San Fernando. I forget where it's at. But they were the first people to play Nirvana in the US.
Oh, really?
I think, or at least here in California. And you know who did it first? Fucking Australia.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So K-Rock, again, didn't get in on that. They didn't want to play System of a Down. Didn't want to play System of a Down when they were starting to get a buzz and everything. It's like, I don't remember who was the program director for K-Rock at that time during the early 2000s, but Rick Rubin was telling the story about how System of a Down was not going to be played on K-Rock. And then when Toxicity came out, I think that was when it was so massive that they couldn't be denied, that eventually System of a Down got played on K-Rock, but they had the opportunity to do so.
And they didn't.
They didn't. So just another middle finger to artists. So it's like, why were, as an artist, why would you defend why would you love K-Rock if they're not helpful to artists? I mean, I know it's commercial radio, and commercial radio means usually that whatever their programming is, which is probably like Queens of the Stone Age, Foo Fighters, Nirvana, all that shit is probably going to occupy a majority of their
playtime or whatever.
And then maybe a sprinkle or a dash of some of the new stuff, which is probably Royal Otis at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it works. So,
but see, like Royal Otis, like you said, is already...
It's too late.
It's too late. They already blown up. So it's like, and you're late to the party, you fucking assholes.
So they jerked them off.
They extra jerk them off.
They jerked them off by having that little session that they have, the K-Rock at the Honda. I don't know what they call it. The Honda Play Live session. I don't know what they call that space, but it's got the Honda something. And it's just like a small venue. You can probably go for free, I imagine. And you get to see, this band play a short session or whatever. But that's the way that they're helpful to them, is K-Rock is lucky enough to be around for probably 40 years, or I don't know how long it's actually been around, but they've been relevant for a pretty long time. People recognize the brand. And it's like, if you're going to be a band like Royal Otis coming from Australia, it's like, okay, maybe we should be allying ourselves with the radio station like K-Rock. But I don't know, man.
I don't know.
All right. There's one other thing I forgot to mention.
Oh, all right.
So the Game Developers Conference is going on right now.
Oh, the old GDC.
And there's a woman who's going to be receiving some type of honor or award. Her name is Yoko Shimomura, who was the composer for Street Fighter 2 and Kingdom Hearts 2. So just a quick acknowledgement of that, because, dude, Street Fighter 2 is like one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time.
I love that shit, man. I love Street Fighter 2, man. It's so good.
I never played Kingdom Hearts 2, so I can't speak on that. But I mean, I know for sure Street Fighter 2 is one of the most iconic like soundtracks in a video game. So, it is cool to hear that they're going to give her some type of honor or award for. I mean, shit, it's probably been like 30. How many years has it been? Street Fighter came out in 90.
No, Street Fighter 2 came out in
90. So it's, I think it came out in 90. So it's been 34 years at this point.
Yeah. Why are we guessing? Let's just Google it. Street Fighter 2.
1990.
1991.
Shit.
Close.
So it's been 33 years.
Yeah, man. That's a long ass time.
All right. So that more or less wraps up the catching up on news related topics for music. Hopefully you found that riveting, or maybe you didn't.
Yeah, hopefully. I wonder. I'm just curious to see what else. Ms. Shinomura has.
Shimomura.
Shino. Yeah, I don't know how to say it. Oh, I'm seeing what else she's done. Let's see. Yeah, Street Fighter 2 is like her one of her big ones.
That's all you need, man.
It really is, man. She did the music for Super Mario RPG.
No, she didn't.
Yeah.
It said, what is it? What does it say? She's composer.
Let's see. It doesn't say the notes. It just says composition.
Oh,
it has
shit.
the title of the game.
That's fucking awesome. I love the soundtrack for that.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. And then the original, obviously Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. That was another good game.
Yeah.
She basically did all the Kingdom Hearts games. What's some other good ones on here that are big? Let's see. Poppin' Music 17, the movie. It's all Kingdom Hearts. Let's see. Man. Oh, Mario and Luigi Dream Team. That was a good one too. Man, she's done some good stuff. Oh, Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. And then this is getting into the newer stuff, but basically Kingdom Hearts and the Street Fighter game were like her bread and butter.
Yeah.
The upcoming Kingdom Hearts 4, she's doing that one too. So,
I didn't even know that there was a Kingdom Hearts 4.
it's to be announced. It's coming out. It's one of those ones that's like, cause she works for Square now. Or Square Enix or whatever the fuck they're called. Yeah. Oh man, she wrote a bunch of songs for Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Fuck yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Man, this lady did everything.
Dude, that's another one that, like, this game called The Wonderful 101. It was kind of like a superhero game.
Yeah.
And it was only on, like, the Switch or whatever. Not the Switch. What is it? The Wii. And, man, it was a cool game. But she wrote, like, apparently all the music for that, which is pretty cool.
Oh, man.
Because there's a lot of songs on there, too.
Dang. All right. Well, fuck. Well, we're gonna have to do another episode. I just thought of somebody. I just thought of somebody that I wanted to include in the top 5. I'm like, nah, I already have my top 5. I'll remember it next time.
Yeah. All right. Well, that does that. So, Yoko Shimomura. So, congrats, sir. Anyways, all right. So
this is the main event.
Your main event.
I think we're also gonna have to do for the interview podcast. We're definitely gonna have to adapt the Road Dogg introduction.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know why I'm saying that here, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Well, it's documenting it. All right, it's putting it on the record so we don't forget, because that's how we remember things. That's how I remember things.
All right, so you want to start us off for? Yeah. Okay, so this segment is just going to be dedicated to music that we appreciate from original soundtracks of video games, and we're picking 5 each, which is probably going to be the length of an album, which would probably around the time of an album review that we usually do. Actually, it's probably gonna be a little bit longer since we probably talked for 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
You think we only talked for 30 fucking minutes?
How long did we talk
we
for?
almost talked for an hour.
Oh, we did?
We're 55 minutes almost.
All right, so this is gonna turn into a 2-hour episode.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
So nice, which is good because me and Frank already did 3 hours and 15 minutes yesterday. So we're gonna have like fucking 2 hours. We're gonna have like over 5 hours this week.
All right, cool.
Fucking excellent.
Sweet.
Anyways, all right.
You got, so I'm gonna let you have the honors first. You give us your first one of your favorite tracks from any video game.
Right.
Give us the intro.
I'm gonna start it off, and these are in no particular order.
No, it's all right. Yeah,
but I just want to start. I want to start with something that's strong, like a strong fucking tune, right? And so for me, it's going to be the Halo theme, but
I had a feeling it was gonna
not just the regular one, the Mjolnir mix, which is like the heavy metal version. And that's an official game fucking,
it's part of the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's on the soundtrack. So let me so yeah, you know what? So let's do this. We'll do like we always do, and I'll say, okay, this is going to be the song, and then we'll pause, and then we'll listen to it, and then we'll go back, and then even though, we've already heard this, but who cares? We just want to hear it again because it's a great excuse to listen to fucking music. So anyways, all right, so this will be the Halo theme. Well, let me just make sure that's the actual title. Halo.
Who wrote the song? Or who did the cover of it? Or the mix or remix?
It was Martin O'Donnell did the soundtrack for Halo. So it's Martin O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore are the ones that are credited with this Halo theme Mjolnir mix. So Marty O'Donnell.
Okay.
And then there's this is from Halo 2, this song specifically.
Where does it fall in the game? Is it towards like the end? Is it one of the end credit songs?
No, I think they used it in the beginning of the game when you first are starting. I think that's actually like what plays at the beginning of the game. And then a version of this plays, I don't know if I think it might be this actual version in Halo 3 when you're doing that thing at the end and you're driving the car over through everything and all the panels are falling out from underneath you. This is the song I think that plays during that too, which is pretty fucking sweet. Like,
yeah.
So anyway, so this is Halo theme Mjolnir mix. It's on the Halo 2 original soundtrack. And it's track number 1. So
if you all start air guitar, you owe us $5 million.
Yeah, $5 million. All right, so listen to it. Pause now. All right, that was Halo theme Mjolnir mix off of the Halo 2 original game soundtrack. And goddamn, that fucking song it's that shit slaps, man. You cannot listen to that song without if you know it. You can, if you've heard it before, like your first time listening to it, you're probably not going to do it at the beginning, but there will be a point during the song where you have to fucking do the air guitar. You have to. You cannot help yourself. And you're also going to be doing the fucking like that tick, 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 like for the drums. God, the whole progression of that song is just so fucking good. It starts out with the chanting, the monks, that.
Well, why do they have that?
That was the original theme song, or like in Halo, like the original Halo. That was like their gimmick. That was just their because it was like supposed to be it's otherworldly, it's ethereal, like kind of
the Halo thing itself. Like the
like
weapon,
it's kind of magical, a little bit, but it's not. It's all science.
Yeah,
but and it's religious too, because the Covenant is just a militaristic religion or whatever, basically. So that's kind of like where I think that comes from.
Okay.
So you got those monks starting out, and then it starts kicking on with that.
Do you think that's like the juxtaposition of the two things? Is the percussion is for the Spartans, and then for the Gregorian chant is for the Covenant? It's
the Covenant, and then it's humanity and aliens. That's like that to me. That whole song, that whole song sums up the entire Halo franchise.
Yeah.
In one song, and it's the juxtaposition of the alien, what they're supposed to be is like
higher beings.
They're supposed to be super fucking better than us, essentially, and they're almost godlike in their power, right? And then you have humans, which essentially represent chaos and disorder, and that's our strength, is that we're just fucking chaotic, and that's how we end up defeating the Covenant, was just, by you just using chaos and just being fucking just being crazy. So that's, and then because this game, a lot of it, some of it takes place on Earth or whatever too, because they have like New Mombasa and like Cairo Station is like a fucking area. And so that lady that's also in the background, that kind of like Middle Eastern kind of fucking little thing. That's also just like it's just that's more humanity thrown in the mix. Like there's so much shit going on, and it all blends together perfectly. And then at the end when they wind it down, after you have these huge like fucking guitar riffs and this crazy shit and all this percussion, it starts just winding it down, and then it goes back to its base form of the Gregorian kind of chant type deal, and just is fucking amazing. I don't know. I love that song. It's fucking great. It's an excellent one. So yeah. You got any thoughts on it other than that?
No, I mean, I'm familiar with the song itself. It kind of reminds me of like the Ecstasy of Gold, the Metallica version.
Oh yeah.
Where they have the orchestra and then
Right,
they have
yeah.
Metallica themselves doing
Yeah.
their guitar shit. Grandiose.
Yeah. It's extremely grandiose.
All right, so
All right, what do you got for yours?
I don't know if you're gonna find it on
Maybe.
iTunes. You might have to go on YouTube.
All right, what do you got?
Dark Moon I think it's Dark Moon Caves from Diddy Kong Racing. Dark Moon Caverns.
Dark Moon Caverns?
I don't remember. You're probably gonna have to find it on YouTube because I don't think they're gonna have it on. I don't think they're gonna have it on iTunes or Apple Music.
Oh, Diddy Kong Racing. It's just. All right, hold on, I'm gonna pause it real quick just to make sure this is the right song. All right, so the YouTube version was not, or not the YouTube. I'm sorry, the music Apple Music version was not the original. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna listen to it, just Google it just put it into the YouTube.
Yeah.
Diddy Kong Racing, Dark Moon Caverns.
Dude, so the music is the composer of the Diddy Kong Racing soundtrack is from this guy named David Weiss, who was part of I think it was Rareware, who made Diddy Kong.
Yeah.
Diddy Kong, and then Diddy Kong Racing, Donkey Kong Country, Conker's Bad Fur Day, but also Banjo Kazooie. But man, the whole soundtrack for a fucking racing game, nothing but bangers, dude. And this is probably one of my. I was deciding between this one and this other one called Hot Top Volcano. It's got some like, I think it takes influence from Indian music because there's some guy that says some phrase that sounds like it. I don't know if it's actually gibberish or it's Indian or not, but man, the song is so fucking good, dude. Like it's so emblematic of what you should be experiencing driving through an active volcano. It's got like xylophones, and I think there's like skeletons of dinosaurs and shit within the volcano itself. So like when you see those things, because you see it in cartoons when cartoon characters play the xylophone on bones. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. This track is just very nostalgic for me. It makes me think back to, I don't remember when this game came out, but definitely during my childhood. There's definitely a lot of music out there for video games that trigger a response, and this just is like light and fun. It makes you think about how you enjoy all those times with your friends when you're young playing. Assuming that you were a millennial, that you were playing, GoldenEye and fucking Diddy Kong Racing and Mario Kart and all that shit.
I feel like the Super Nintendo and like we were on the mid of the Super Nintendo, I guess. And then but the N64 was really our full console, I guess. That was our like generational console, maybe. I feel like was like that was what was hot, the hot ticket item at our time, when we were like, I was like 10, I think, when it came out. So that was like, hot on the streets. But anyways, all right. So we're going to give this a listen. So this will be Diddy Kong Racing, Dark Moon Caverns.
From David Weiss.
All right. That was Diddy Kong Racing, Dark Moon Caverns. David Weiss.
Yeah. That track is so bitchin', dude. It has... I don't know why it has a banjo at some part. It has like a riff. It's like, yeah,
You know why it has a banjo? Because you said that during when we were listening to it, and I was thinking about it. I was like, why does that have a fucking banjo in there? And I remember in Donkey Kong Country, I think it's the grandpa. Like, he's literally sitting in the chair playing a banjo because they're supposed to be like redneck monkeys. Like, I don't know. Like, I think that's the aesthetic they're going for, is like the rednecks, because like Dixie Kong, she's like she wears Daisy Dukes and has that fucking, like, she's like a redneck lady. And I think that's what they are. I think they're like country folk is what they are. So I think that's why there's a banjo in there.
Or maybe because depending on who you're around in Diddy Kong Racing, different instruments come into play.
Oh.
So like Tip Tup the turtle,
Yeah.
he'd have percussion like xylophone.
Oh, okay.
So like the theme of the song, I think you had the bass song, right?
Yeah.
So whenever you pass somebody, their instrument would come in. So if it was like Tip Tup, there would be like a xylophone. And maybe I don't know if it's because banjo's in the game. Banjo's thing was like the banjo, like literally a banjo.
That could be.
So maybe.
It could be.
I don't know.
Interesting.
But I fucking love this song because there's like a whole stage or a whole world in Diddy Kong that you have to unlock, which is like the space area. And this is one of the levels for it, or one of the stages, one of the racetracks rather. And I think it just emulates everything that has to do with space, with like the synthesizers, and the keys and all that stuff. And at some point, it gets like all shimmery, like it's like you're in outer space and you're looking at stars and stuff. And it's just the things that it paints in your mind. Like, I don't even know how artists are able to emulate emulate space through sound itself. It's fucking wild, but yeah,
it is wild. Because then, like, okay, when they go, if you're underwater and you're like a water theme level, it's got that bloop, 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 like it's got those dripping noises and shit. It's like they're emulating fucking water somehow. Yeah, or like on the volcano or the fire levels, it's like you're hearing fire noise. Like you said, you're like in that 8-bit music. It's like this, like it's this fire noise that you're hearing as part of the song. It's like the beat or whatever. Yeah, and it's like, fuck, man, that's pretty cool. How they and how they were limited in what they could do. Yet, I mean, really, they did fucking so much with very limited space and very limited resources that you had to use on this shit. So,
what do you got for your second track?
So the second track is from Assassin's Creed, and it is from Assassin's Creed Revelations, which was the final game of the I guess they called it the Ezio fucking series or whatever. And I believe I don't think I have the name of the fucking lady who's in this. But I think, let me just see real quick. Oh, you taking some Benadryl? Oh, yeah, go for it. Why, your eyes fucking watering?
You're getting there.
Damn. Did you touch the dogs?
I touched the dogs.
Did you touch the dogs?
I touched Cooper.
Oh, that fucker. Gave you the allergies. Fucking dogs. All right, I'm going to pause real quick just to make sure this is the right song. Hold on.
It better be.
All right, so yeah, this is going to be the right song. So this is the... off of the Assassin's Creed Revelations, the complete recordings, original game soundtrack by Jesper Kidd and Lorne Balfe. It's track number 1 on there. It's Assassin's Creed theme.
Okay. So
here we go. All right, so that was the Assassin's Creed main theme from Assassin's Creed Revelations, right?
So you said it was the end.
This was the end of
the Ezio period.
The Ezio trilogy, basically, because the way Assassin's Creed did it, just to provide context, which is why this song to me is so fitting and it's so, I don't know, it's emotional because Assassin's Creed 1 followed this character Altair he was in the Middle East during like the fucking 1200s or some shit. Then this starts in the late 1400s in Italy with this kid Ezio Auditore, right? That's what the number 2 goes. And so every game, I don't know if they're still doing this now. I don't think they are, but every numbered game back up until probably 4, every numbered game changed the storyline narrative of like a new character was introduced, or like a new main focus of a time period was introduced. So in Assassin's Creed 1, it was like the Middle Ages, like the first Crusades kind of times in the Middle East. This one was Italy during basically the Renaissance period. And so you had Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and then this one, Assassin's Creed Revelations, which were the Ezio games, where it focused on this one guy, and you basically got to see him grow. You grew up with him during these games because he was basically, fuck, if you haven't played it, then fuck, you're never going to play it. So, but he was basically a kid when Assassin's Creed 2 happens. He was like an older teenager. He might have even been like 17 or 18, and his whole family gets killed in front of him basically. And so that's when he starts this path to join the assassins, and he finds out about all this crazy shit. And this game Revelations, because it ties in the way they tell the story, there's a modern day story with this character Desmond Miles, which that kind of started in this game with Assassin's Creed 2. And there's a in-game or in-universe storyline that you're following, which was the Ezio version. Because basically you're taking ancestral history and you're activating your DNA to go back in time to relive their memories, essentially. That's how this game is. That's why you go back and forth between time periods, because this guy, Desmond, who's in the modern day, reliving the life of Ezio, basically, which was one of his ancestors. And so basically you saw him grow up throughout these 3 games, and then at the end of it, it's kind of cool because nobody dies in this game. Like they all get like kind of happy endings. Like Ezio goes off into the sunset, retires. Desmond does die later in another game, but this story, it wrapped everything up, and it brought them all together because it brought the guy from the first game, Altair. He was a big focus in this game, and Ezio and Altair actually like meet in this weird fucking like time travel fucking paradox thing or whatever. And so they're all there at once. So it's like all the main players from this whole series are all in there in the same time. It's kind of cool. And this song is just wrapping up the fucking thing, right? It's getting you, it's that the operatic kind of singing that's going on. That's getting you into, okay, the seriousness of this, and like the, you know, with the what is it? There's like the horns or whatever that are in the back, and then there's the, what is it? The percussion that's going on too. Like that's all, it's all just like a lead up to the end, which then once this song like reaches its peak, it kind of just, you know, it goes back down to slowly winding down or whatever. And it's kind of how the game was. Like you hit the fucking peak of the story, and then it winds down, and the sadness is gone in it at the end of the song. Because there wasn't, like I said, a lot of sadness at the end of the game. I mean, yeah, we were sad that it was over and the storyline was done and we weren't going to go back, but we got to see the happy ending. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I want to ask why you have a fucking Pachanga resort and casino fucking water bottle, like branded water bottle. And where the fuck, I mean, obviously you got it from Pachanga.
Yeah. You give it out for free.
Did you get like a buttload of them and you're just fucking, we're just hanging on to them, or what?
No, they just give them out for free. You get a handful or whatever. So like 2. When you're gambling, you can get them.
When did you go to Pachanga last to get that?
Who wants to know?
I do. I'm just curious.
What if I said I went last week?
I'd say, okay, that's cool. I mean, that's cool. I'm just curious. I just was like, why is that a Pachanga branded water bottle, man? Do they sell that? I was like, do they sell this in stores?
I just didn't want to carry the big fucking Yeti bottle, so
you just brought
I bought a tiny ass one so I could just sip on it.
Have you just been refilling it, or is that?
No, this one's brand new.
Oh, all right. Well, that's cool.
But Anyways. It doesn't taste fresh. It tastes like refurbished water.
It probably is refurbished water. Copyright fucking Game Rage magazine. Fucking refurbished water. Fucking yeah. So, anyways, I don't know. It's a great song. I enjoy it. You should really listen to it. If you didn't listen to it, you should go check it out. Anyways,
yeah.
All right. Yeah. What do you got?
Yeah, I noticed that it started off with the solo. I thought it was a young boy that wasn't castrated yet, or
that was castrated,
or that was castrated,
and his balls hadn't dropped yet.
Yeah, and so he was singing the a cappella or solo.
Yeah.
And then it did get pretty interesting once it gets to the part where I think in the middle portion of the song is like the Splinter Cell, like the
like that kind of.
There's like an element of espionage. It feels like espionage towards the middle portion of the song, but and then it just kind of climaxes where everything kind of comes together. I don't know if I heard it. Yeah, I might be making this up, but I thought I heard either a guitar or this thing called a harpsichord, which I think was around the Renaissance period. It's like a piano, but it has a different sound. I'm trying to think of a song that actually has it, but there was a lot of people that were using it during that time. Bach or I forget who else, but it doesn't sound like a piano. It sounds more like a harp, kind of a little bit, but you're playing it on
like a piano.
On a piano, yeah. But I thought that's what I heard in the background, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, it was a cool song.
Yeah. So, all right, what do you got for your second song?
Let's see.
Your numero dos.
My numero dos.
Man, they really have branding fucking down. Play on another level. Like another is in italics too.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
That's crazy, bro. Shit. Let's go with Cocoa Tapioca from Kenichi Takoi.
What game is that from?
Fucking Space Channel 5.
All right, that's probably not going to be on fucking.
Yeah,
iTunes.
I don't imagine it would be, but this is.
All right, wait. Say that again. It's Space Channel 5.
Cocoa Tapioca song or whatever.
Cocoa Tapioca.
Yeah, it's spelled with a K, I think.
The cocoa.
No, the.
Oh, tapioca.
Yeah.
Cocoa Tapioca song. OST. Cocoa Tapioca, the huge dancer.
Yeah.
All right. Cue it up.
Oh no!
You don't commercial.
You hear
it's
it.
A commercial.
All right.
It's not
so
even
this track. Okay, so this.
Oh fuck!
This is one of.
All right, there we go. We're not gonna get copyright.
All right, so Space Channel 5 was this game on the Sega Dreamcast, and it was like one of my favorite games on the console. I think it was one of the. I don't remember if it was one of the launch titles, but I think it was one of Sega's first party releases. And it was it was kind of like Parappa the Rapper, where you'd pick a direction.
Oh, okay.
It'd be like one of those beat games.
Yeah.
But this is the first boss that you encounter, and it's just like this giant blob alien thing. And wait, is it? Yeah, I think it is. I can't remember, but this whole soundtrack is so fucking good. Like Sega at the time was killing it with their whole music department, because they had even fucking Sonic Adventure had a really good soundtrack, and Jet Set Radio in this game.
Yeah, man, that's true.
Just bangers. So,
dude, I kind of want to get a fucking Dreamcast.
Yeah,
and then
I have one.
You do?
Yeah.
Does it work?
It still works. Yeah, I think it does.
Fuck, man. I was gonna say we should do like podcasting, like a podcast where we just play fucking Dreamcast and just talk shit about like stuff. You got any games for it?
I do, but I'm missing some of the ones that I had. Like I had Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but I don't know where that is, and that disc is probably fucked.
Oh, it's probably fucked beyond repair.
I know I have NFL 2K. And
oh hell yeah! Oh man, dude, NFL Blitz too, man. You remember those games? Was that on the Dreamcast?
Probably. I mean,
I think
I'm
it was. Sure it was. Yeah.
Anyways, but this is the first boss theme, and it's funny because like Ooh La La, who's the news anchor, she's like, oh no, she's like, I'm feeling kind of funky, and because the music kind of controls the person, so she's trying to get out of the funk. And she has to like combat this thing by dancing. So
nice.
It's a really great track. It's probably my favorite one on the game. So if you haven't played Space Channel 5, I'm sure there's somewhere you can emulate it or purchase it on some fucking marketplace on PlayStation or fucking Xbox. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
whoever owns fucking Sega now.
Let's get rolling.
Here we go. All right. So that was
Coco Tapioca, the giant dancer from
The Huge Dancer
the Huge Dancer
from Space Channel 5.
Yeah.
Original soundtrack.
by Kenichi Takoi, I think is his name. Yeah, man, that song. Okay. So man, I had a lot of, and granted, I'm I'm gonna go off on a tangent because
Yeah, do it.
all right, so one of the bands that I found in my personal journey of like music discovery was this band called Introverted Funk, right?
Yeah.
So when they started out, they were a 6-piece band,
Okay.
and I liked them the way they were in that incarnation. Eventually, now they're a kind of a 2-piece because I imagine what happened was, a lot of their band members are in other bands, or eventually they're going to have to move on to things that are going to allow them to get paid or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
But when they were a 6-piece band, like this was the thing that came to mind was Coco Tapioca that the only thing they didn't have, and not that they could have it at the time, is they didn't have a brass section like the way this song has, but they had the same type of feel. I'm like, man, I don't think I've ever found a band that has come close to what I've been looking for something like this.
Yeah.
The sound, the song from Space Channel 5, but Introverted Funk was like basically that minus the brass section, which is like a whole thing. But they've deviated from that a lot, and I'm like, I'm very nostalgic for that incarnation of them, but everybody's free to do whatever they want
True. True.
for their music or their art. But I was like, shit, man, what could have been? Because I was like, dude, you guys have the potential to fill, if they steered themselves to something like this is like arena type, stadium type of sound. Like they could, like that's like a whole sound that could get people like moving and partying and stuff. And but whatever. But yeah, that's one of my favorite tracks from fucking Space Channel 5.
Yeah, no, I thought it was super funky, man. It was cool. And I think this is something that could have been in like Cowboy Bebop.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like I could easily have seen that in that, or a similar song to this.
Yeah, because I mean, shit, in the movie Cowboy Bebop, the movie, there's this song called "What Planet Is This?" It's like it's the air battle scene where Spike is in the swordfish too, and he's fighting the other dude, and it's kind of the same type of genre because it's like, "What planet is this?" Bet. There's like horns, and it's basically kind of the same thing as this, but the song's a little bit faster. So I could definitely see it in fucking Cowboy Bebop for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And it was super, super funky, man. The horns and the fucking like that, like that was cool, man. Like that sax part, man. Dope.
I don't know how you make that effect. I imagine it's keys, the bit or how do you go? Bit. That melody was played on the keys, but it had like a weird effect. It had a weird effect on it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but that shit rocked. And then the brass section, the horns and shit.
Killed it, man.
So good. And then there's like the softcore porn.
Yeah. That guitar or whatever.
The guitar, then the bass line. Doom doom boo doo bip. Like it just gets in your head, dude. I can't help myself. So, anyways, all right, what do we got for the next track?
All right, so the next one, I don't think this one's going to be on YouTube, or not you. It's going to be on YouTube. Trying to figure out. All right, so
what's the song?
It's the Terran theme from StarCraft.
Oh yeah, dude, StarCraft. I don't remember if Brood War changed the song. Like if they had a Terran song for Brood War, and I think they might have been the same.
I think it was the same one, yeah.
All right,
but it's Glenn Stafford is the composer of the Terran and Protoss games. Yeah.
Oh man, this is gonna be. I haven't heard the song in forever.
Yeah, so man, I fucking love this shit.
This is gonna be a treat.
Yeah, so this is the Terran theme from the StarCraft fucking game. All right, so that was the Terran theme from StarCraft, the game. Man, that that song brings back so much memories, man.
Like, yeah, it does.
The whole time it was playing, when at a certain part, all I'm hearing are your forces have come under attack, or your forces are under that lady when she tells you you're getting fucking your shit pushed in.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it's just so good, dude.
Man, the part that gets me amped is the
and then the part that
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so good.
It's funny because my friend was like an avid Terran player, and I
Yeah.
always hated that shit because I don't remember the exact build. I know you got a barracks up, and then you got the fire academy, whatever that fucking building you have to get. I forgot what the tech tree was, but he was trying. You try to get out the vultures and the siege tanks as quickly
Yeah.
as possible, and then basically what you would do was this thing called a Terran ball, where you get like 2 or 3 fucking Terrans, and then a couple fire bats with a couple medics, and then you all like I think they would be the meat shield for the siege tank.
Yeah.
And that's how you would get people early. Like if you couldn't deal with that, then you basically,
You were fucked. Yeah, that was the Terran version of Zerg Rush, basically.
yeah.
And yeah, man, that fucking theme song, man, it's just so good.
It just,
When I become a professional wrestler, that's gonna be my fucking entrance music is the Terran theme song, man. It'll just get the crowd hyped.
it just makes you want to say, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, would you say this is the musical epitome of hell yeah, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, it truly is. So I love that song. It's fucking great. But anyways, all right, what's your
Shit.
what's your next one?
How many songs have we gone through?
Well, that was 3 for me, so this will be 3 for you.
all right, cool.
So we got Dos Mas.
Dos Mas. Which one do I want to end on? I think I'll save that for last. All right, let's go with Dudley's theme from Street Fighter Third Strike.
All right. Dudley Street Fighter 3.
Yeah, get the arranged version.
Is arranged? Okay, cut and looped.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
No, I don't want that because that's going to end up being too long. There should be like a
Street Fighter 3 Second Impact Giant Attack OST theme of Deadly.
nah. Type it arranged.
Arranged. Oh, there it is.
Oh god.
Dudley
are we-
Stage, You Blow My Mind arranged. We're still.
Yeah, that's the one.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but
All right.
put us on mute so we don't get copyrighted.
Well, yeah, obviously. All right, so this is Dudley. The video is called Dudley Stage, You Blow My Mind Arranged. That's the name of the actual video we're gonna listen to. So
This is by Hideki Okugawa, and Third Strike has like probably one of the best. I mean, shit, man. Street Fighter usually has banger fucking tracks for their soundtracks, and Third Strike is no exception. I don't know why I picked this one. I actually wanted to pick another one, but I'll just save that for
the next another episode
whenever we do this for because this one's pretty cool.
right.
So the character Dudley is like this technical boxer, very gentleman-like. Like it's funny because he's able to sip tea from a teacup with boxing gloves on. It's fucking weird, but yeah, just an interesting character. And this track is it's exceptional. It's brilliant.
All right, here we go.
It's bloody brilliant.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was exceptional.
Yeah. So Street Fighter 3 was like heavily inspired by drum and bass, jungle music, house music.
Yeah.
I think like UK garage type of stuff. So that's why you hear like this track in particular is house music. But yeah.
When that dude comes in and goes, "This is a stupid joke mix," that's the best part.
That's my favorite part because I mean, obviously this song is kind of on the long side, but normally what would happen in the game is that first part that you hear that keeps repeating for like 3 cycles. That's for round 1, and then when it gets to the second part, I think is roughly around when the song transitions to round 2, and that's when he's like, "Oh, this is a stupid dope mix," and then yeah.
Yeah.
So just the
really cool fucking track from, I mean, dude, every song from the Third Strike soundtrack is super good. I feel like I should have gone with something different, but I know there's like a lot of people that haven't heard this.
that song.
So why not have it on the first iteration of this, whatever this is going to become.
Yeah. This recurring segment of video game music.
So what do you got for the next one?
All right. So the next one I got, let's see. I think I'm going to end it. I know I'm going to end it on this, not this one, obviously, but the next song, right? So I'm going to save that. So this song is going to be, this one is on iTunes because I know for sure because I have it in my playlist. This one is called Hell March.
Hell March.
And it's from the Command and Conquer Red Alert soundtrack.
Red Alert.
And it's Frank Klepacki is the guy, and the EA Games soundtrack team, I guess, is who made this. So this is Command and Conquer Red Alert Hell March. All right, here we go. Wait,
they actually have it on Apple Music.
Yeah. It's all the Command and Conquer soundtracks. There's a lot of soundtracks on Apple Music for some reason. So, anyways, all right, here we go. All right, that was the Hell March of the Command and Conquer Red Alert soundtrack. Man, that song. All right. It's like a 6-minute song, but there's two parts to it. There's the first half, which is basically like a heavy metal kind of version, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it changes midway through to like a house, like techno fucking song.
Yeah.
And it's fucking just so great. And I'm not gonna lie. I didn't stream it because I knew I was gonna get copyrighted. So I was fucking around on Helldivers, and I was in a group where guys that actually had mics, and I was like, all right, boys, let's spread some freedom. And then I fucking hit play on this song, and I had it like right here by the mic, and everybody was like, oh man, we were playing with like two dudes that were like Zoomers. They were like fucking young, and they were like, I don't know what that song is, but man, it makes me want to kill some bugs. And I'm like, yeah. And then the other guy was like, hey, is that from Command and Conquer? And I was like, abso-fucking-lutely. And then he was like, fuck yeah. And then we literally were just machine gunning things. Everybody called their machine, because everyone had the machine gun stratagem. Everybody called the machine gun down, and this song is blasting. And then like, as you're just, and then it's that dude like doing the fucking commands and shit. And just like, it is the greatest fucking moment of my life. I think it was so cool. And I'm like, this song it kicks rocks, or not kicks rocks, but it kicks ass, man. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it sounded like Walk from Pantera.
Yeah.
Or even RBD's
or RBD
knockoff,
song, that one of a kind. Yeah,
the knockoff Walk.
Yeah,
and then that back portion was like
yeah,
the electronic or the techno.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool because it was an interesting switch up.
Yeah. So I fucking enjoyed it. It's a great song.
Where does that take place in the game?
I think that's when I forget what the bad guy. It's like the Russians basically, and so it's like when the Russians are introduced or whatever. It's like they're like, it's like the fucking whole like when the frenzy happens or whatever, and everybody's fucking fighting. That song comes on, and like it's fucking cool.
Nice.
So yeah, it's fucking sweet shit. But anyways, all right, what do you got for your number 4 song? All right. Your 4th song, I should say.
It's gonna be "Fighting in the Streets" from Streets of Rage from Yuzo Koshiro.
Oh yeah, fighting in the streets of Rage. Right.
Second one.
This one.
Yeah.
All right. Jesus Christ. All right. This is the extended version, but we'll just cut it off after whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. This will be Fighting in the Streets of Rage remake V5 Music Extended is what the video is called.
Okay.
Here we go. All right. That was Streets of Rage. Fighting in the Street from Streets of Rage. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Yuzo Koshiro.
Yeah.
That's one of the that's the opening track for the game on the first boss or the first stage.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
Yeah, it is. And that's like the epitome of the 80s, late 80s, early 90s arcade kind of music.
Yeah.
It just sounds like that. And man, just looking at the cover, like on the thing, it was funny to see how the dudes are just shredded. I mean, And that dude's wearing a wife beater that is so tight that it's basically like his skin. Like it's tighter than skin tight. It's his skin. It's his actual skin.
Yeah, and the gear for the female character Blaze, like they all have headbands.
Right,
and
yeah.
She has like a red jacket that kind of looks like fucking Michael Jackson's.
Yeah, from the Thriller jacket or whatever. Whatever that was. It was the red one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Thriller? I don't know. But anyways, yeah.
But yeah, this I mean, the music's definitely oriented around house, like techno music. And
Yeah.
I think it's like Eurobeat because you know that song, everybody, ow. Do you remember that song?
Yeah.
From Black Box, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
kind of like what that is. Yeah.
But just a fucking bitchin' track, and there was something later, like way past the game's prime, where that guy Yuzo Koshiro did some kind of live performance where he just played a bunch of tracks from Streets of Rage 1 and 2. And he performed them live, and it was at some club or some shit, and it looked fucking sweet. But I don't know if that guy's ever done live performances after that. But
Interesting.
such a great fucking whole soundtrack's good. I just picked that one because it was
Because it's like the first one.
it's the first one.
Yeah.
You people might know it or they might not, but
Yeah.
super good.
Super good. All right. So final song. This might be the catchiest fucking song ever made in a video game. And it is the Super Mario Brothers theme song. Beep, 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 beep.
Are you actually gonna play it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna play it. I don't know. I don't remember who does it, but yeah, of course we're gonna play it because we have to. But I don't know why this song always gets stuck in my head. Like it'll just randomly fucking, and really, I think it's the one that's from Super Mario 3 or no?
Oh, the beep 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 boop boop.
Is it that one?
Beep 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 boop 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 beep.
All right, well, we're just gonna try this. So the Super Mario Brothers theme song. We're just gonna try this one and see.
Well, which one are you? How does it go?
It's the classic, the
original one.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. So here we go.
It's like the overworld theme for.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Let me fucking pause this. All right, here we go. All right, so that was the original Super Mario Brothers theme song. Man, like you said, that beatboxing that's in the thing in the back. That's so cool, man. It's just and really off of an 8-bit fucking cartridge with 64 kilobytes for music. That's what they fucking made.
Bitchin'.
And it's bitchin'.
Probably the most recognizable piece of music in video games ever.
It might be one of the most recognizable pieces of music on planet Earth.
Planet Earth, yeah.
I feel like when they send those satellites up with like the shit that's like the code, they put the Super Mario Brothers theme song in there so that they know.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, aliens, check this shit out. Put a Game Boy in there.
And on the other end, of like, holy shit, they're declaring war on us.
Like that's the song that declares war. Yeah, it's like the war song of their planet.
Yeah.
Man, I'd machine gun fucking bugs to this song too. Just like the last one, you know?
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. That obviously it's just nostalgic too because it you know, we played these fucking games when we were young kids, and it's that whole thing of, I kind of said earlier about how it's hard to tell if it was good or not because you heard these songs over because they were limited on space. Like they had 64 kilobytes
of course
to fucking do music, right? And so you just repeat the same shit over and over again for the whole level. But it's fucking amazing. But is it good because we just heard it so many times as young children and it's ingrained in our brains to be good? Or is it objectively good? I just think it is objectively good, but I do think that it's a question. It's valid. But
when do you voluntarily listen to music that's bad?
But the game is so fun, and it's like playing Mario, right? When you're playing that game, if it was literally a guy screaming in my ear the whole time I was playing it, I'd fucking still play it because the game's so fun. It's good. You want to beat that fucking goddamn Bowser, and you want to collect the power-ups, you want to hit the bricks and kill the little turtles and the Goombas. You want to jump on some motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, of course you're going to do it. no matter what the soundtrack is. It's like you remember the Impossible game?
Yeah.
It's with that stupid little yeah. And the music, you like if you time it to the music, that's how you beat the level or whatever. But all those songs were fucking good too for the most part, which is crazy. So I don't know. But yeah, I love Super Mario. That was my nice little jovial ending song. So yeah, what do you got?
I got fucking Snake Eater theme from fucking Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh
Snake
shit!
I don't actually know who made the song, but I know Cynthia Harrell is like the one.
Snake Eater. It's like that James Bond fucking.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So good. All right.
One day you'll walk through the rain. You'll eat a tree frog. This whole intro is so good. The bass line.
I mean, that game was just so good. All right, we're just gonna pick one that says Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater theme and see what happens. All right. Here we go. Oh man. All right, so that was what was that? Snake Eater. It was a Snake Eater, right?
Snake Eater, yeah.
Yeah, by who was it by?
I don't know who it's by, but I know Cynthia Harrell is the vocalist.
All right, so that was off the Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater soundtrack.
Yeah, it's part of the opening sequence for the game. And if you played it before, if you use the thumbstick, you can control the snake, the way it moves, the skeleton or whatever. Yeah, dude, that song is so fucking good. It's the guitars, it's like the timpani drums, like it's the woman's vocals, Cynthia Harrell. I don't know how she's able to sustain those long notes. It's so long, and she has some pipes on her. I don't actually know if she's like a recording artist by herself, but what a fucking track to hang your hat on.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, if you ever play Metal Gear Solid 3, the game, it's I think it's actually being remastered.
Yeah.
So you ever get a chance to play? Actually, I don't even know what's going to happen with. Are they going to use that guy David Hayter, his voice, or are they going to use somebody else? Because that was they let go of him eventually.
Yeah, they did. They went to Kiefer Sutherland is the voice
for
the
5
voice of Solid Snake or whatever. So, or yeah, whatever the fuck they're calling him. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to keep him around or if they're going to. I mean, obviously David Hayter voiced him in fucking those games, so I'm sure that's. They had him. I don't know if they had him remaster the audio or redo the audio
just
or if they just remastered it, you know. But I don't know if he's gonna be. I don't know what Metal Gear Solid because what 6 would be the next one.
I don't think they're gonna make a 6 because I mean shit, that franchise was. I think it ended on 5.
Yeah,
that was the end of the franchise. I think.
Well, that's after what's his name Kojima left, anyways, right? So. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna, or they got rid of them, or whatever the fuck however that deal ended. But yeah, I don't know.
My favorite lyric in that song is when she says, "Damn it, I already forgot it." It's the part where she says, "I don't fight for something. I fight for what is it?" I already forgot.
Yeah, I don't know the line off the top of my head, but it is a great song.
I fight not for honor, but for you. Because in the game, you're trying to fight the Russians to prevent nuclear warfare from escalating, and your mentor is like on the other side, but she's not really the enemy. But in the context of the game, she is. It's just like her serving out her missions that she's like, well, she's like, war never changed. Well, like, I think she was getting at the war never really
changes. Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's all the same shit, no matter what side you're fighting on.
Yeah. So everybody's going to hate you or they're going to love you. It doesn't really matter. And then he's like, fuck. Anyways, he ends up killing his own mentor, which is like the most dramatic part of the game. It's still something it's in the brain.
It's in your brain tubes.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that game. It's fucking awesome. The soundtrack's good. It's fucking awesome. That song's awesome. It's the peak of like that James Bond espionage type fucking shit from those James Bond movies, and it's like they hit it perfectly, man. They nailed it. So
how many? What time are we at for the podcast?
Hour and almost at an hour and 45.
Okay, cool.
So
I thought it was going to turn into 2 hours, but fuck it. I can hang my hat and.
I mean, shit.
45.
That's hour and 45 is pretty fucking goddamn good if you ask me.
True.
So, anyways, do you have anything else before we mosey on out of here?
No, maybe that there are albums that are coming out later in the year that for sure we're going to review. There's one in May I know is going to end up being an album review, and there might be some more in the future, but I don't really know why. I just decided I didn't want to do the album we were supposed to review today, but I don't know. I just didn't feel like it.
All right, it's all good. I mean, we do whatever. I do what I want. So we'll do what we want.
Fuck yeah.
Anyways, all right. Well, I guess if you feel like it, go follow us at Game Rage Magazine on all the stuff, and you can follow Adam's All Gas No Trash Official
at Instagram.
Instagram only.
IG.
On the old IG.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it. So thanks for fucking listening thus far to this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.
That was the Game Rage Music Show. Thanks for listening.